Who doesn't love the look of carbon fiber? If you're looking for a carbon fiber look for some of the plastic parts on your CFMOTO 450SS, like I've done with this chain guard, I may have the answer for you this week on Angelo's Motorcycle. Well, I've been at it again on AliExpress. As I mentioned in the video a couple of weeks ago, I have purchased a full carbon fiber decal kit for the 450SS. This kit was approximately $75 and includes many. I've cut them into sections and as to what pieces they go for. And it comes with many pieces of very good looking carbon fiber vinyl decal, and I wouldn't necessarily call it a decal. It's more like a vinyl coating. They're very thick and very easy to work with, much like those tank protectors that I've been purchasing. And some of the pieces are quite large, as you can see. This all came in a big, huge rolled up tube. I could just keep going pulling pieces out here. And it doesn't come with any instructions in the tube, but if you look at the store in AliExpress, they have photos that show you where all of the pieces go and all of the pieces are for. So I have them grouped into groups. These two sheets, for example, are for the sides. And then there are pieces for the winglets. There are pieces for the side view mirrors. The winglets, as I said, there's a piece for all around the gas tank. And then there are pieces for the sides, the chain guard, and especially, and most importantly, the exhaust cover, that black plastic exhaust cover that I don't like the look of very early in the motorcycle's life. Somehow, I scuffed it with my boot. I got some kind of mud or some kind of dirt on it that I could not get off, no matter how much I cleaned that plastic. So I was looking for a solution to something to look better than that scuff on that black plastic. And I didn't really like the look of that black plastic. I said it before in the last video. My 700 CLX has a black metal heat shield over the muffler. My KLX has a metal shield. The Ninja has a metal shield. Like most motorcycles have like a thin stamped aluminum heat shield over the muffler. And that looks fine. For whatever reason, CFMOTO chose to use a black plastic on the 450SS, which kind of lets the bike down a little. I didn't like the black plastic. But this is an excellent solution, and that was the first piece I covered. I've already covered two of the pieces. I'm going to show those to you now. This is what the chain guard looks like. Let's take a look at that. And you can see it covers most of the piece, leaves some gaps in between that are still black plastic, but that's okay. You get the carbon fiber look. And it doesn't look like a piece of carbon fiber. If you're looking to make it look like a piece of carbon fiber, you're going to have to wrap it with a full sheet of carbon fiber, and that's a little bit more difficult, because you've got to deal with all the complex curves and everything, and there are a lot of complex curves, and any vinyl wrapper will tell you that the complex curves are what makes wrapping an art. It makes it so difficult to do. But these get 90% of the way there, with just the little gaps open where the wrapping would be difficult. And these are very easy to apply. I have applied them using both the wet and the dry method. I have found the dry method to be a little bit easier because I'm not squeegeeing and heating for an hour. And these decals are thick enough that you can apply them, remove them, and reapply them a couple of times without any issue. And so because of that, I'm going with the dry method. So now let me show you what the heat shield for the muffler looks like. I really like how this came out. We'll take a look at that here. And you can see there is the small gaps around the edges, and that is more than fine. It works for me. I really like the look of it. So now I'm going to do every plastic piece on the bike that they sent me a piece for, and there is a lot of them. And why don't we get started by doing the tops of the side view mirrors together, and then we'll do a couple more pieces together, and then I'll cut to a slideshow and show you what it looks like. Again, this came off of AliExpress, somewhere in the neighborhood of $75, and it's a full vinyl sheet. It's very high quality, very good stuff, as you'll see as we go through the install, so I recommend it. And once again, AliExpress saves the day. aftermarket accessories for the beautiful CFMOTO 450SS. Let's get to work. We're going to do this side view mirror first. I'll put you where you can see them both. How's that? So we're going for this surface here. And they give you some adhesion promoter, which I'm going to go ahead and get some out. And how I know this is adhesion promoter is it says adhesion promoter right there. Don't be impressed. There. Adhesion promoter. That's how I know it's adhesion promoter. I cannot read Chinese. I wish I could. That is a language that I would be very interested in learning, because I've heard that it is extraordinarily difficult to learn, and that is why I want to learn it. I like a challenge. I rate my chances as very low of being able to learn Chinese, but if I couldn't learn Spanish in school, I don't think I will be able to learn Chinese. So the adhesion promoter is very important because it's going to remove grease and oil, all of the polish that I've been rubbing on this motorcycle, all of the spray, Honda spray, which is my favorite. There we go. And look at all the stuff it's taking off too. Look at that. And I know I'm doing this next, so while I have the adhesion promoter out and open, I'm just going to hit this piece as well. And look at that. That's a lot of stuff come off that plastic. So that's good. Definitely use the adhesion promoter. It stinks. I don't know what it is. It smells almost lacquer thinnery, kind of, sort of. So now we've got to decide. You'll let that cure a little bit. Got to decide which piece is for which. And it's very obvious to me that this is the piece for this mirror. So now we just have to figure out kind of what it wants to do. So it's got a couple of gaps here, so obviously they want to close those. So I'm going for the dry method again. As I said, I have found the dry method to be easier. And what I basically want to do is not stand in front of the camera, but I think that lining it up and I find it easier without this plastic protective piece. That looks good. So I've got a little bit of a, as I said, it's a high quality vinyl. It's very thick. So you can pick it up and put it back down again if you need to. And so what I've got is a very complex curve there. Wow, that went down perfectly. Wow. And I've got just a little bit of something there. Something got on my finger. Wow, that looks so cool. So again, as I said in the intro, it doesn't look like the part is carbon fiber. It looks like a plastic part with a carbon fiber cover. But it looks good. I like it. And it's a matter of personal preference. If you want a full carbon fiber look, you can either, your options are spend thousands for carbon fiber parts, and a lot of people do, and feel free, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or get a full carbon fiber wrap, which is a tremendous art. I have so much respect for wrappers because they're amazing. I watched this YouTube guy, Paradox, the rapper. He's amazing. And I enjoy his videos very much and the work that he does. And I have wrapped a few things, and I can tell you that it is not easy. These have these nice little reliefs here and here. But, you know, that part there, you know, that looks very good right there. So now we'll go ahead and we'll do the other one. If I can find it. Where did I put it? I may have to go back and watch the video and see where I put it. Ah, here it is. Okay, so here we go again. Just trying to see where my camera is. Okay. So that came out pretty well, and I like how I did that one. So I'm going to follow the same process on this one. I'm going to start by lining up this corner. And applying this. And I got a wrinkle already that we got to get out. There it goes, no more wrinkle. And once again, I'm going to take this clear plastic piece off. And that is good. And then I will line up this top piece and get it straight so that it looks good. And then there is a very complex curve right here. There we go. And don't be afraid to put a little heat on it if you need to. And I'm thinking that I might like the idea of a little bit of heat on those curves right there. And I just so happen to have the heat gun here ready to go after I unplug it. From the workbench, plug it into the extension. Now let's hit it with a little heat. Heat softens it up. Heat also reveals any areas that are going to pop when it stretches and warms up in the sun. So it's good to give it a little heat. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. So there's the side view mirror pieces done. Those came out pretty good. I'm excited about that. They look great. And again, like I said, it's a cover. It's just a cover for the plastic. You know, it's like a coating You can see that there's quite obviously still plastic. It just fits around the edges. But these relief cuts just make it easier for you to get a smooth, good look. And it looks the part. I like it. I'm a fan. Alright, let's move on and do one of the pieces on the side. So this piece here, this plastic piece, which is just kind of a plastic piece, it's rather boring. We're going to liven it up with this. Look at how nicely this is cut. They really did a good job in preparing these pieces and laser cutting them. And this is just an example of all of the wonderful accessories that are available out there in AliExpress from other countries for our CFMOTO 450SS motorcycles. And this looks easy enough to line up because it has these two holes that are cut out. And again, this is high quality stuff, so you can get away with a reapplication or two. And I'm liking the look of that. Or maybe I am not. I want to slide down a little bit. Nope, that's not going to work. We're sticking with what we got. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That looks good to me. And there we have it. That looks fantastic. They did a good job. They've got pretty good, they're pretty close on where it needs to be. This part could be slightly a little bit more lower, but I don't know about that because look, I've got a nice angle here. Yeah, I like the way it came out. That looks good. I like its placement. I was going to try and move it, and then I was like, no, I'm going to leave it where it is because I like the way it looks. And look at how great that looks compared to just a boring piece of plastic. You know, and it's just an accent. You know, it looks good. I'm a fan. That looks great. Good stuff. Okay, I'm going to move on and I'm going to do some more pieces. There's pieces for down here, there's pieces for here, pieces for around here. I'm going to move on and I'm going to get those pieces on. And then I will come back with a slideshow and show you guys the finished product. It'll be daylight by then outside, so I'll be able to, because this is an early morning adventure this time, I'll be able to take some nice photos outside in the sunlight and get some great video and some great pictures of it, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned. I'll be back in a second with some finished pictures. So here I am, it's about 4 hours later. I have completed all of the carbon fiber pieces on the 450SS. And I gotta say, I'm really excited about how it looks. So, I'll just go around the bike and we'll talk about a couple of notes. First off, the side piece here would have covered this stripe. So I got the heat gun out, I took that stripe off. I applied the carbon fiber cover, and then I reapplied the factory stripe because I did not want to lose that factory stripe. I like the factory stripe. Down low here, this covered a CFMOTO decal, which I was okay with. So I covered over the CFMOTO decal. The other thing is just worthy of note, and I have a picture to show you. I did have to take the rear cowl section off in order to apply the carbon fiber pieces between the seat and the rear cowl. This had to come off in order for me to apply it. So that was that. I want to add that there are a couple of bonus pieces. When I was done, there were a couple of pieces, and I'll show you a close-up of this in a minute. There were a couple of bonus pieces that weren't in the instructions online, and I couldn't find where they went. And I obsessed over it for a little while, and then I found out They, in fact, go up here next to the gauge cluster. These pieces of black plastic next to the gauge cluster get covered over with carbon fiber. And I really like that. I think that is fantastic because it is a part of the motorcycle that you see and use all of the time. You're constantly looking at that while you're riding. And now there's a really cool carbon fiber accent there. Everything else went according to plan. There was no difficulty. I did end up swapping and using the wet method around the gas tank. This is a very difficult piece to get correct using the dry method. I used the wet method here, and it is still drying. But I'm going to leave the machine out here in the sun, and this will all dry up very well here in the sun. And whatever isn't dry, you know, in the sun in a couple hours, it'll just evaporate, and it'll be fine anyway. But that's it. This is a done project. Again, the carbon fiber decal kit is pre-cut for this machine, and everything fits very well. I didn't have any trouble at all. I think it was $72, plus there might have been a little bit of tax or shipping on AliExpress. Got here in about 3 weeks, and I put it on, and I'm really liking the look of it. It covers some of the larger pieces of black plastic, like here, and even the winglets are now carbon fiber look. But especially, as I said before, this muffler cover, I really wanted that. So let's go to some pictures and a really cool video of this machine and with the carbon fiber.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I had a lot of fun making that video. This motorcycle is just a work of art. It's beautiful. And the carbon decals, look at that side underneath the gas tank where there was all black plastic before is now a carbon look. And I love the way the muffler looks. That muffler cover, that plastic, you know, really, I wouldn't say it bothered me, but I wasn't really overly enamored with it. But in between the seat and the sides, this decal kit is a really nice addition to the machine. I think it kind of dresses it up. Some of those plastic pieces were a carbon look already, but I think that this decal is a little bit more realistic and has a little bit of a better carbon look. It really sets the machine off. I really do think so. Well worth the money, but I will caution you: you need to take your time and be careful and use heat when needed. I did use heat a couple of times, and then I did switch between the wet method and the dry method a couple of times. If I had it all to do again, I think I would do the dry method for everything. The wet method was troublesome sometimes. So, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. All of that helps me with the channel. I greatly appreciate that. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, all as Angelo's Motocycle. Make sure you stop by next Friday, 12 o'clock. There will be another video for you to enjoy. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.